Well, there's an office in Baltimore City government that investigates corruption, fraud, and where taxpayer money is going.
Yeah, it's not widely publicized, but it's getting a lot of attention this election cycle.
WMER2 News' Mallory Safaste has more on what you need to know about the Inspector General before you head to the polls. Mallory, what?
Yeah, Jamie and Kelly, in the last year, the Office of the Inspector General busted a Department of Public Works employee stealing water meters, exposed a city worker doctoring overtime pay, and discovered a Department of Transportation supervisor accepting bribes and extorting local businesses. This was all without a certain freedom that the current IG and the ones before have been seeking for some time. Robert Perret believes it's the most important bubble on the ballot, and yet it's at the bottom on the very last page.
Question F, I think, is the most important referendum on the ballot on Tuesday.
This one question could potentially impact the future work of the Baltimore City Inspector General, a role he held for 3+ years until he said he was forced out because certain protections didn't exist.
Basically, I was pressured to resign if, under the proposed independent structure, the decision to hire or to terminate an IG can't be made by any one individual.
The charter amendment asks voters whether they're in favor of making the office of the Inspector General independent. Now they're under the purview of the mayor's office. With the amendment, a board made up of several elected officials and some academics would do the hiring and the firing.
Did you feel pressure not to go after more high-ranking officials? Or were you discouraged?
I was not overtly discouraged.
But he says there was still friction. With this new Inspector General and different mayor, both support the measure.
I have no problem with it.
Mayor Catherine Pugh said she recognizes the need for scrutiny, and recently that's been directed at a program she's championed. Inspector General Isabel Cummings said she couldn't find evidence that Work Baltimore, a month-long job fair, justified the means, a price tag of around $425,000.
I don't think that she was aware of all of the workshops and things that took place, and that it was not a one-day event. And I want to emphasize that it was not a one-day event.
IG Cummings said her office's 25-page report shows they evaluated the entire program. And this timely back and forth further illustrates the tension that comes with poking around your boss's business. Perry also said had independence been established sooner, he believes he and his predecessor would have departed on much different and better terms. And when we looked for an opponent of this measure, it seems the biggest one is apathy. Many people just don't know enough about it or why it matters. So take some time, read through all of those ballot questions, and be sure to vote.